YouTube, what's going down? It's your boy King Spence, and today we talking about 3 common myths about Nipsey Hussle. So Nip Hussle, like all artists, have a ton of rumors and myths that go around about their name, and today we're going to discuss 3 common ones that I often hear when having my favorite rapper debates. So the first myth that's common for me to hear about Nipsey Hussle when I'm having my debates is that he was a bad influence. You hear people say he was a gangbanger, he was aggressive, he promoted gang culture. So I actually would argue the contrary of these things. Although he has a deeply rooted background in gang culture, I do believe that he had a serious evolution from what he once was. Now, I'm not saying that he was soft or that he wasn't a neighborhood crip, but what I am saying is that I don't believe that's a fair way to depict what he represented. I feel like more than arguing that he was a gangbanger, people should argue that he was a community activist.
It was about something with technology and business in your neighborhood.
Yeah, so Vector 90 opened up the day before my album release. It's basically an inner city co-work space. And in the bottom half is the science, technology, engineering, and math center, which is basically the skill set you need to go into Silicon Valley. You know, the goal is to create a bridge between the inner cities and Silicon Valley. And especially, it's important in LA because that's an hour away.
And he actually was a major key piece in the rehabilitation of his South Central community.
Nip actually needs a plaque. Nip need to be recognized by the city, man. He's doing something that a lot of people cannot do, and that's rehabilitate the area, making motherfuckers be productive, and putting something there that works. It's providing jobs. There's a lot of corporations that can't even do this. You can't come and put something here that's actually working business. It's taking people that's out of prison, felons, whatever else you want to say, and having them be productive.
True, he does have a strong connection to the neighborhood crip community, which is what birthed him, but I feel like it's even more important to say that he always used his voice and his platform to promote education, self-control, respect, and a whole list of other valuable life skills.
And we look at life like it's about what you can get from life. And I think, I read something, I was like, that's not what it is. You're going to always be unfulfilled if you look at life like that. It's about knowing you're going to leave one day. And, when you leave, the only way you're going to be fulfilled is if you know you gave everything you had.
And the last rebuttal that I have to people speaking on what he represented is that it's important to say that he was a prominent businessman and he influenced millions of hustlers over the United States and the world to cut out the middleman and to take ownership of your artwork. All that being said, I feel like if we're gonna discuss what he represented, I think it's best to discuss what he mostly represented and not what a part of him represented. The second myth that's commonly argued in the Nipsey Hussle debate is that he was independent. And that's kind of a myth because Nipsey wasn't necessarily independent. Although it is true that Nipsey Hussle made the majority of his success in his independent artist ventures, it is important to mention that labels played a dramatic role in the propelling of his career. There's all sorts of content that serves as proof that Nipsey Hussle was signed, especially to Epic Records and his what's described as a partnership with Atlantic Records.
Nip Hussle in the Epic building, about to go sign his deal.
Know what I mean?
So it is fair to say that Nipsey Hussle did not attain all of his success as an independent artist. And I feel like that's important to say because you have a lot of artists that look up to Nipsey and will probably turn down potential deals with the mindset of being like Nipsey Hussle. But it's important to understand that Nipsey Hussle didn't necessarily downplay the power of being signed. He more so advocated that if you're going to have a deal, it should be unique and special for your situation. And the last myth that I normally hear in the Nipsey Hussle debate is that Nip didn't have any hits. What? So the first problem with that argument is that a hit record doesn't have a real definition. It's slang, it's a broad statement. But if someone is going to use that as an argument, I think it's fair to mention that Nipsey Hussle is a multi-platinum recording artist, not to mention a Grammy-winning and Grammy-nominated recording artist. It doesn't get much better of a hit with those kind of credentials. And although a lot of those credentials were achieved after his passing, it's still important to understand that Nipsey Hussle had hits with artists like YG, Dom Kennedy, DJ Mustard, Tyga, and a ton of solo projects. One of the arguments I like to hit people with is just because you haven't caught on to it doesn't mean that it's not hit. It more so means that you're not hit. But those are the 3 myths that I most commonly hear in the Nipsey Hussle debate. If you like this video, make sure you leave a comment, subscribe, hit the like button, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the next episode. Until then, progression on me, progression on 3.